Okay, good. All right, so Chad's gonna laugh at me because I'm doing this in portrait mode and not horizontal, but that's okay. So I want to teach today what I teach all my families in my office about SSRIs, or a class of medicine that treats anxiety and depression. So in your brain, you have lots and lots of neurons. This is hard to watch myself and do, by the way. You have lots and lots of neurons. Here, I'm going to put something else to talk to this guy in your brain. And so, for example, this is a nerve or a neuron, and this is a nerve or a neuron, and they make a connection in between. There's the two nerves. You have billions of these in your brain at any one time. So this neuron or this nerve is supposed to work to shoot out hormones called serotonin. Serotonin is your happy hormone. Makes us feel good, safe, nobody's yelling at us, no one's nagging us. We feel wonderful. This is the thing that takes our anxiety down, that makes us feel calm, safe, secure. We're on a beach having a Mai Tai. And when it's floating around in the synapse here, when these guys are floating around, it makes us feel really calm and happy. And then this nerve or neuron has what's called, well, I don't know what they're called exactly, little vacuums, little square-shaped vacuums that work to suck up these serotonins, break them down into this neuron, and repackage them to use for later. So the three ways that anxiety and depression can happen in kids and adults is, the first one is that this neuron doesn't work as well as it should, and it doesn't push as many. Instead of having like 10 floating around, you maybe only have 2 floating around. And so you just feel a little on edge, a little worried, a little nervous, a little upset, a little hurting when things are hard or really good, but they're intense too good. So you only have 2 sticking around, and so it just doesn't make you feel as good as other kids and adults. The second way that it can happen is this one pushes out serotonin, but it pushes out some that are misshapen, and they don't make us feel very good. They don't work as well. You've got some abnormal ones that don't work as well. And then the third way that you can have anxiety and depression in kids or adults is that you make enough serotonin, they're not misshapen, but this neuron, this second neuron here, has way more vacuums than it should, and so even if you make the normal amount and they're the right shape, they get sucked up way too fast and they get broken down, and so even if you had 10 normal, they get sucked up and act like you only have 2, and so you always feel a little bit on edge and a little irritable. So the class of medicine that I use and a lot of physicians use for anxiety and depression are called SSRIs. SSRIs. These, for example, are Zoloft, Celexa, Prozac, Lexapro. These are all what's called an SSRI. This SSRI stands for selective for serotonin, so they only select for serotonin, no other hormone. Reuptake inhibitors. So they are reuptake inhibitors, or they're vacuum blockers. They come over here and they sit in your vacuums, and they will essentially work for all 3 ways that a person could have anxiety and depression. They will, if you don't make enough, that's okay. The 2 that bounce around now like that there's 10 of them. If you make enough but they're misshapen, the good ones still again bounce around and make you feel not anxious, not depressed, not sad like other kids. And if you make too many vacuums, that's okay. We block the vacuums. The most frustrating thing for kids and adults when I start kids and adults on these medicines is that it takes up to 2 months to get in their home. 2 months is a long time to start a medicine and take a medicine. And I know that, and I'm frustrated as a doctor, and I know that my parents and my families are really frustrated too, but I start the lowest dose that any of these make. So like, for example, Prozac starts at 5, Zoloft starts at 25, Celexa starts at 10. I start really, really super low, and I see them monthly and make sure there's no bad side effects, no more emotional ability, no increased crying, no increased angerness. I don't see a whole lot of bad side effects when I start super low like this. So I do. And then I can increase it if there's basically no good effects and no bad side effects. I just know that it didn't quite work enough for that patient. So that is how SSRIs work. It's no artificial things that are not yours. It's just your own happy sitting around longer, and so that you're not constantly on the edge or not able to have the best life you want to have. Like, these are not scary medicines, and they work really, really well. I hope that helps. I draw this at least once every single day because I put lots and lots of kids on that because I don't have a lot of peds psych available in my tiny town. Love you guys. Bye-bye.